Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is your post-Christmas goodie bar. You know all those sweets that you brought home from your trip that nobody ate, and they're just sitting on your counter now, and you have to eat them. I mean, you pass by them every day, 2 or 3 times a day, and somebody's got to eat them. Well, that's what Daily Dose Radio is like. This is a goodie bar. It's all those sweets that just didn't get eaten at the party. They're left over. Well, there's lots of good stuff in leftovers. So here you are, Daily Dose Radio. The sweets are laid out. I'll get you some hot chocolate to go with that. Oh, and today we're looking at Psalm 142, verses 3 and 4. And these aren't stale leftovers, ladies and gentlemen. These are fresh and ready to be consumed. Verses 3 and 4, we said yesterday that this is a maskil. It's one of those instructional psalms. And boy, I tell you what, there's a lot of instruction in here. And today we're going to see in verses 3 and 4 what his complaint is all about. Now, yesterday he said, I cry unto the Lord, I pour out my complaint, I show him my trouble. So we understand that there's something wrong. And of course, the historical background of this, he's in the cave. So it's during that period when he's running from Saul. This is of David. He's running from Saul. He's in the cave. Of course, he's complaining. Well, we're going to find out specifically today about the complaint. Let's look at 3 and 4. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then thou knewest my path. In the way wherein I walked have they privately laid a snare for me. I looked on my right hand and beheld, but there was no man that would know me. Refuge failed me. No man cared for my soul. Now, I think we understand, don't we? Something about his trouble. Let's go back and look at verse 3. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me. So he has supplication, complaint, trouble, an overwhelmed soul. And it's overwhelmed because of what he describes here in these 2 verses. And remember, we talked yesterday about that first verse, with my voice unto the Lord did I make my supplication. Remember what the apostle said about supplication in Philippians 4:6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. So he's giving us that kind of a prayer here. This is a prayer of supplication. His requests is going to come up here in just a little bit. But today we see the problem. He says, I'm overwhelmed. Thou knewest my path. And we've seen that before, haven't we? Back in Psalm 139, he talked about, the Lord sifting his path and his couch. He also talked about the snare. We have that again. They privily laid a snare for me. Psalm 140, verse 5. We know who that is, don't we? Though that's the evil man. That's the wicked man. He's always laying a snare. Verse 4. I looked on my right hand and behold, but there was no man that would know me. Refuge failed me. No man cared for my soul. Well, here is the center. This is the center point of the complaint. This is the place where it all comes together. We understand this feeling, don't we? When nobody else is there to love us. When nobody else is there to care for us. So the Lord is the one who has to, I shouldn't have said that, because we're going to see something about that tomorrow. But we're overwhelmed because men do not treat us the way we think we should be treated. They're not there to support us. But the arm of flesh always fails. It always does. We can't trust in the arm of flesh. We can't trust in the goodness of men. We can't trust in the righteousness of men. There is no righteousness of men. That's a figment of our imagination. So we have to lean on the Lord, don't we? And he's looking around for somebody to help him. And notice he says, refuge failed me. Well, where's his refuge? Is it in men? Well, if it's in men, of course it's going to fail him. And he's in the cave, so he is being pursued by Saul. And he's looking around, and there's nobody that can help him. So there's only one other place to go. And tomorrow we're going to look at that other place in verses 5 and 6. I kind of wish I could just go right ahead and do that today, but I want to save that for tomorrow. His path the Lord knew. The snare the Lord knew. The fact that men would abandon him, the Lord knew. Refuge has failed him, and his complaint comes before the Lord. Now tomorrow he's ready to make his request. Join me then, and we'll look at it together on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.